50.
Wait.
Honor dog's excused.
And that one's coming over.
You can sit down, Jasmine. Danny, get ready. Hey, hey, Danny. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Yeah, I don't want her to get over there and win that short bird. Good job, Danny. Good job. Okay, Kyle, you can get ready. I think if we were throwing the bird into it, actually in amongst the windrow, I've done that. It can
All
be
right,
pretty
good.
interesting.
Here. Hold. Heel,
So
hold.
if you do bird and mouth,
Heel.
sometimes and the reason I do this,
Sit. Sit.
yeah,
Hold.
here.
Here.
So you're practicing kind of the mechanics
Hold.
as if you were you're simulating
Hold.
multiple ways. Sometimes 50.
Wait.
Now, what I want you to do in those situations, I want you to send in a softer manner. You want to start
Okay.
using the communication as if for checking down. And the reason I want you to do that, because I just want you to develop a consistent language, a little different style, depending on the type of bird you're about to retrieve. If you're sending for a really long bird that you don't want them to break down, you want to put your hand down and say their name loud like you did,
Okay.
because then they're going to, over the course of time, they're going to get better at it. And see why I threw the bird where I did? Because their tendency is going to be to favor where the gun is, and they're not going to smell it on the right hand side. So this dog's going to, I've thrown it in a place down in that little crease where a dog's going to have to just right there she should win it. But that's a tricky spot to get to. I mean,
Good.
you can start to learn the little bird placement, little places in the field that a dog has to work a little harder to find it. And that's kind of why
Let it
I'm
go.
playing
Side.
with there.
Side.
So my deal here is I don't try to point quite at the bird initially. I want her to kind of look at the winger initially, or where the gun stood, or where the bird came from, and kind of create that same. One temptation is to run back to the obvious station, which I think. Okay, well if she breaks to you stop her. I want you to make her sit and call her in. No, here.
No, here.
Now I'm going to have here.
Here.
Okay, Jasmine, I'm going to use your help here
Yeah,
in a
I
second.
probably
But
should have had
stay
it
seated
stand.
for a second. And then I'm going to have you
let's try it
stand up
again.
and wave
Side.
and say, hey, hey. But I'll say in a minute. I want you to do the same thing you did the first time.
Wait, side.
Talk to her a little bit. Communicate more where the gun stood.
No, here.
Okay, Jasmine, stand up. Step out a little bit. A little hey, hey. Let's go ahead and sit down.
Wait.
Once again, I use the roll. No, that's right. All's now. I just want her to break down and start to work and figure this out. I'm not going to be too picky on what side of the deal she goes. I want her. It's the lesson of using figuring out how to find that bird from where she is. She's going to check areas that aren't productive. She's not going to find anything over there. And as long as I would much prefer to let this dog sort this out on her own. Now she's trying something different. And
Atta girl.
that's just good dog. That's just the way I do
And
it.
she's young dog.
Yeah, so she's starting to, I want her to teach herself stuff, just like she did.
Good girl.
You tried to talk her into the left bird. She didn't remember it. She ran back to the bird she picked up. We didn't let her do it. We brought her back in and tried to communicate again. Then the gun kind of stood up to kind of get her memory back and say, oh, yeah, there was something over there.
Oh.
You can hand me the bird, and you can go over to the honor spot.
June's coming with blessing.
How do you decide